Hello everyone and welcome back to Mr. Smitty's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Google SketchUp for schools, and we're going to be basically using the skills that we have learned so far and applying them to a concept we did earlier this year, which was technical drawing and blueprint reading. So we are going to be given a 3D model that has already been dimensioned and you are tasked with recreating it. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do that, and then the way to finish up your model, I want you to actually put your name on it with 3D text. So I'm going to demonstrate that also. All right, so let's hop into it. So first things first, I want you to go into your Google SketchUp for schools. Once you're there, go to Create, New, and we're going to do millimeters today. The reason we're going to do millimeters is if you take a look at the model that I want you to do today, all of the measurements are actually in centimeters. So we are just going to convert at the end between centimeters and millimeters. All right, so 15 centimeters is actually 150 millimeters. So you just have to move the decimal place one. All right, so inside of Google SketchUp for schools, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save first. And I'm just going to call this Mechanical Exercise 1. All right, that way I've named it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and delete Temple Grandin, so that way we have a big, nice workspace to use. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I know we're using millimeters. So I'm going to zoom in because I know whatever I do is actually going to be kind of small. All right, so now I'm going to pull up my drawing here, and I'm going to see if I can do a nice split screen today while we're working. Okay, so I'm going to start with this bottom piece, all right, and I see that it is 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters, which means it actually needs to be 300 millimeters by 200 centimeters. So I'm going to type in 200, comma 300, so that way I can get the 20 by 30 or the 200 by 300. All right, so I'm actually gonna pull this up a little bit so y'all can see. All right, so as I'm working, I like to dimension, and I suggest you do the same. So if I go over to my tape measure tool, and underneath tape measure is dimension, the way it works is you click 2 points and then drag your mouse off to the side. All right, so you can see now that that is 200 millimeters, and then I click and I click, and that is 300. All right, so I'm on the right start. So the next thing I got to look at is right here. This is actually 5 centimeters tall, so that means I need to go up 50 millimeters. So I'm going to pull this up and type in 50, enter. Then I'm going to grab that dimension tool again, and I see that it is 50 millimeters. All right, so what's important here is I am 3D modeling, but I'm also dimensioning as I go. And this is how I want you to approach it. All right, so now I need to make this cut right here, which I see that this is 5 centimeters by 12.5 centimeters. So that's going to be 125 millimeters by 5. So I grab my rectangle tool again. I start to draw, and I do 125, comma 50. Remember, I got to multiply by 10. All right, so again, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do the push-pull cut. So I'm going to push it down to the edge and then make sure it says on edge and let go, and it'll do that cut. So now let me dimension. So if I go from here to here, I see that that is 50 millimeters, which is what we wanted. And if I go from here to here, I get 125, which is also what we want. So just as I'm going, I'm just dimensioning through this. All right, so now I'm going to grab the rectangle tool again because I want to make this back piece. So first thing I see is that this back piece, well, it's 40 tall, but minus the 5 we did. So that means it's 35 centimeters tall, so 35 or 350 millimeters. But first, I need to actually draw this bottom rectangle first. So the bottom rectangle is 30 minus 5, so that's going to be 250 millimeters by 50 millimeters. All right, so I'm going to go to draw that. This will be 50 comma 250. Nope, I got it backwards. So it's going to be 250 comma 50. And there we go. See, it lines up perfectly. And like I said a minute ago, we check our height. We got 40 minus 5, which is 35. So that means we need to come up 350. All right, so now this is what I'm working with. So I need to do this cut right here. But before I do that, it's always important to go ahead and dimension. So I'm going to dimension this side. It's 350. I'm going to dimension this top. Well, I'm going to dimension it on this side over here. That's 50. And we also need to dimension right there. All right. So now I need to do this cut. And what I see on this cut is that it's 15 from the edge. So to measure out 15, I need to take my tape measure tool and I click that corner and start dragging along this line. And then if I do 150 enter, because it's 15 centimeters, so that's 150 millimeters. So I do 150 enter, you'll see that it put this little, it put this mark for me. So I can draw across now, and now I know that from here to here is where that line needs to go. So from here to here, that is where I need to actually put my line to do the cut. And same thing, I'm just going to cut it. All right, I'm going to grab my dimension tool again because I want to pull this out a little bit more. And then I need to dimension this right here. All right. And otherwise, I think we are good. All right, so now I need to do this last part, which is right here. So I need to figure out exactly where to draw this rectangle. So I can see that that rectangle is 10 centimeters in. So I'm going to grab my tape measure tool, and I'm going to measure in 100 because we're using millimeters. So if I needed 10 centimeters, which is 100 millimeters, so that's 100 millimeters in. And I know that it's 5, so I'm going to go ahead and draw another one that is 50 over, because 50 millimeters is 5 centimeters. All right, so at this point, I know that my rectangle is going to be between those points. So it might actually be better if I just take the line tool here and draw 2 lines straight across. So then I can pull this up. But how tall is it? Well, we see over here that 25 centimeters tall. So that means I need to come up 250. All right, and now all I have to do is draw my line from the top to the bottom. And then I'm going to do another push cut like so. Need to make sure I get to the edge so it cuts it. And then it's just finishing up my dimensions. So I'm going to take my dimension tool now. And I am going to try to grab, oh, see I have this one. I need to grab and pull that out. And then we need to dimension the height. So I'm going to come over here and dimension the height. Oh, sorry guys, I got it kind of behind my video. All right, so I'm dimensioning the height right there. And then I need to make sure I dimension the width somewhere. It doesn't really matter where you do these as long as it's you know, somewhere on your drawing. There we go. All right, and at that point I have a fully dimensioned model. Everything is perfectly dimensioned. So the last step is I want you to put your name on it. So you're going to go to where your rectangle tool is. Maybe you have your circle active, I don't know. Just make sure you have your rectangle tool active. And then if you click that, you'll see that you have this little 3D I want you to click on that, and you're going to type your name. All right, so I'm typing Mr. Smith. I'm going to pick a font. Maybe I'm doing permanent marker, make it a little goofy. And then let's just say maybe the height is 5 millimeter, or no, the extrusion's 5 millimeters, and the height is 10. All right, and that'll just kind of put my name. If I press S on the keyboard, I can quickly scale that. Oh. All right, let me zoom in. I can scale it up, make it a little bigger. And then if I press M on the keyboard, I can grab one of these and move it. You know, maybe I want to put it on. You know, you can either put it next to or put it on. If you want to put it on, just grab one of the corners, and you know, maybe I want to put it right there. So now I'm going to press S again, and I'm going to scale this down. So there we go. I've got my 3D model with dimensions, plus I also have my name on it. All right, very important. I want you to put your name. And as always, if you want to add appearance, you can go over here, open up your appearance bar. Maybe I want to add a little bit of appearance to it, just to kind of differentiate between the pieces. I'm more than okay with you having a little fun with it, guys. But other than that, that is it, guys. And that's it for mechanical exercise 1. We will be working on a summative later, and we will be doing something very similar. All right. Thanks so much, guys. As always, if you've got a few minutes, please take the time and go check out all my socials, and make sure you follow, like, and subscribe those. And I will see you next time.